Hello friends, here we are, a different night. It's a night in the tri-state area. Yes, we are here for the 10th anniversary of the Inner Enlightenment Spiritist Society. Tomorrow we'll be there celebrating with their group, and we are here with you tonight on this beautiful opportunity to learn more with the good spirits about their immortal lessons. When Dr. Bezerra de Menezes opened the preface of the book, Educandário de Luz, the book that we're studying, and using the wisdom to fulfill our duties as Spiritist Practitioner, we are invited by a group of illuminated minds to calibrate ourselves to do the good. Funny enough, the message today is chapter 4 or 3, depending if we consider the preface or not, because there is a lesson there as well. And it's all about a group, Spiritist group, that is turning 10 years. 10 years, like many of ours nowadays. And he starts the message in a very interesting way. We are beginning with the reading of the message, and soon after we're going to be able to break it down to all of us. The Readjusted group, Brother X, the group of apprentices of the gospel, had been installed, beginning their works. Alfredo Saraiva, the neighborhood pharmacist, was the acclaimed leader of the group. Olímpio Caramuru and Octavio Mafra, two prestigious traders, promised to cooperate. Miss Ophelia and Adão Cunha, Mrs. Ophelia and Adão Cunha, the old couple, aspired for the sessions. Mrs. Amanda and Mrs. Gertrudis offered mediumship services. Miss Generosa, a widow for a long time, claimed the need for prayer. João Pires, the owner of the house, could not contain his own happiness. So Humberto de Campos, Brother X, is describing here about a group that began its efforts, a Spiritist group, and all the people, ordinary people, I say quote unquote, just like us, at least like me, ordinary, they started 9 people in all. And this is very interesting, he says 9 people, and makes it a highlighted paragraph. You know, the wise author of the Beyond, he teaches lessons not only with words, but in the style that he uses. And when he decides to make a single paragraph out of the number of people that started, he's giving you and I a lesson. It always begins small. But that's not understood by many people. Because many people think that groups should begin big. They don't know history. When it began with Kardec, few people. When Jesus the Master started it all, he was one. And he invited people. Do you invite people to come? That's the deal. To open the doors as well. To go after, say, you know, would you like to join? I'm not saying about anybody out there, but people whom you've seen that are in the same frequency, that are willing to do the same. What do you think? Is it a possibility for you? That's an important question for all of us. 9 people in all. We should be encouraged to do it, knowing for sure that sooner or later people will join forces, because this is the order of the events on the earth. After the opening prayer, Sister Clara, the spirit mentor, manifests herself through the faculties of the medium Amanda. She says she feels comforted, happy. The formation of the group will have repercussions in the beyond. Aha. So the spirit mentor comes, delivers a message, and that's how usually it goes by. A mediumistic message usually begins with message from the spirit mentors, the spirit guides, and usually spirits that are in need of being rescued. At the end, a message from the higher spirits. That's usually how a mediumistic meeting goes by. And she came and said more, that the formation of the group will have repercussions in the beyond. Many people don't know about it, and that's the problem, because they keep aiming at the incarnate level, and they forgot the big part of it is about the spiritual. It's about the spiritual. Yes, that's why you shouldn't care about the number of people who go there. You know, when we talk about making the present pleasant, how many people do you need to make you feel the pleasure of gathering together? Maybe one more? Two more? Three? That's exactly what happened to Chico Xavier when he started his sessions with a couple. And Divaldo Franco did the same. It started small and it grew. But the focus is not on the incarnate level saying, I'm going to open so all the incarnates in this planet, they gather together. No, we're here to do this individual one-on-one. We need to rescue that. Unfortunately, as Emmanuel said yesterday in a message entitled Spiritist Groups, he says, when there are dissensions, struggles, partisanship, hostilities, it's a sign of the absence of the gospel and due to the excess of human material. Our friend Rudy asked that yesterday. I couldn't answer to everybody. Excess of human material means what Kardec said in the Medium's book. It means the heterogeneity of the group. When you have too many people, people are not on the same page, it doesn't work well. It works better in smaller groups. So rejoice if you're part of a small group. And take advantage, because it's more likely than not that you found the core of it all. Okay? So she says, friendly instructors had registered the votes of the small community. The companions had requested work, and the work would not be lacking any time. In the name of various spiritual mentors, they were equally interested in serving there. You see, you and I, the incarnate, say, let's build this international current here of positive thinking. You think we're alone? And we're consistently here every day. What else do we need to be in the company of good spirits if we are voluntarily working to exercise the good inside of us? Only good, friends. And I don't say this out of an illusion. It's as solid and can be felt as easily as gravity. Do you doubt gravity because you don't see gravity? No, because if you stand up, you're going to fall. If there is no something not to be reached immediately, so you're going to fall, you're going to feel gravity exists. The same for the spirits around us. They exist. Whether we're mediums or not, you can feel something. That's mediumship. At some level, and we're talking here about the fact that when we want to do the good, we're always accompanied by good spirits. Of course. And the well-tuned group would serve as valuable instrumentation for celestial relief. You open a group, a small group, but connected, united, and the higher spirits start counting on us as bridges for the relief of spirits who are in need, incarnated, discarnated. No one was afraid. Goodwill, faith, and love would be enough, she said. They hoped, therefore, the harmonization of all in one goal, the goal of spreading the good. Stop everything. What did they say? That the goal of the group should be spreading the good. They didn't say only in the center. Anywhere. Anywhere. No fear, goodwill, faith, love. They hoped, therefore, that people would spread the good. Around them, ignorance and misery arose, generating suffering. They could do so much. They would distribute consolation, enlightenment, and hope. This is from the spiritual take of it. The spirit mentor, Sister Clara, comes, the group's formed, and says, wonderful, let's work together. There's a lot to be done. Let's do it. The meetings started lively. After the prayer, the enlightening reading, precious texts advising effort and diligence towards goodness. Effort, diligence towards goodness. Effort, repetition. Remember Andrea Lewis in the book Evolution into Worlds. We need to be persistent and towards goodness. However, the team did not seem to hear, and that's when the problems begin. We go to the center, we participate, we work. The mediums begin, the prayers, the messages are received, and then what happens? People don't hear. There's still, like many people in the groups nowadays, waiting for a miraculous day when a super medium is gonna come. There is Superman, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Batman, Batgirl. It's not enough. People want a super medium that comes. You think people believed Chico Xavier because he was Chico Xavier? No. There are many accounts in which people still doubted him. They heard his counsels, the counsels that came through him, and to date, people still don't believe. This message came through Chico Xavier. The question is, are we going to listen to this and put it in practice or not? I don't need a super medium, do you? Because that's what happens. I know many groups around the world, they do what they need to do, but they spend the whole year waiting for Divaldo Franco to stop by. Because the day Divaldo comes, our problems will be solved. And Divaldo is fantastic. Thank God he doesn't play Superman. He doesn't. But there are many people expecting that he's going to be Superman. That the day he comes, he's going to solve the problems. And that doesn't happen. Not even Jesus is going to do that. And that's not even charitable to expect that from a medium. And to spend the whole year, as Mentor Joseph often says in our meetings in the Spiritist Center. And I remember when we learned it, when we were in Baltimore, that many of the spirits that guide... Okay, sorry friends, internet problems. But many people forget that the spirit mentors of our groups may be like way more evolved than many incarnates we can meet. And we take them for granted. You want to see how? Look at this. You see it tonight. This group here, Humberto de Campos is saying, funny enough, is turning 10 years. Like our group in the SSPA, the Inner Enlightenment, the Mount Vernon, the Tampa group, the Austin group, and many others. And he talks precisely about that turning point and what the mentors expect of us. So they didn't hear the instructions, and as soon as Sister Clara manifested in the group, the people in the group started asking questions, making complaints. Mr. Gertrudis was asking help for her husband, and Saraiva, another man, was asking for passes because of a physical condition. Another man in the group was asking for protection because of employment. Mrs. Ophelia wanted a medication for her headaches. All of this asking the mediums. Another one asked for help regarding his business. He needed customers. Can you believe asking the spirit for customers? Ay, ay, ay. Times were difficult. Taxes went up, constricting. And there are people who are like this. They go to the Spiritist Center, they even participate as Spiritist practitioners, and they are bargaining with the spirits. If you give me a promotion, help me there, I'll give you more and more of my time in the center. And you know, the spirits are gonna say, the good ones, the superiors say, go, prioritize your work, because we need people who prioritize love. We don't go to Spiritist centers to ask for personal favors. No, no. Today, our beautiful Lea Severo wrote to me. She read the lesson, and she was reading and feel free, Leia, to type it in, the name of the author in the magazine O Reformador in Brazil, talking about how we should pray, that actually the serious prayers are the ones, Kardec mentions that too, that they are the ones that ask for courage. We don't ask like a petition. Please help me buying milk. Please help me buying bread. Please help me with buying a new dress, a new pair of shoes, or finding a new doctor. Say, please God, may we feel your protection during these trying times. May I be courageous to withstand the challenge and never give up, and overcome my own limitations and learn what I need to learn. Prayers. Here, people were using mediumistic meetings to ask for themselves. Sister Clara, kindly and benevolent, supported everyone as best she could. Valorous and optimistic, the spirit mentor Clara returned to the mediumistic meeting every week. However, the environment was the same. And everybody was still asking about a little things. And, well, people were asking and asking and asking. And then one day, when the group completed 10 years, you know, it's such a coincidence, because we are here in the tri-state area to celebrate the 10 years of our sister group. And I say sister group because we're turning 10 years. We turned 10 years in Virginia, Spiritist Society of Virginia, the Inner Enlightenment Spiritist Society, Manhattan. And it just came as a coincidence for us. I know there's no coincidence. And I'm not saying this message is for the Yes group, but for all of our groups that are being formed. The 10th anniversary. And what happens when a group turns 10 years? Brother X is going to answer. The spiritual counselor announced that she would try to start the charity work of the group. So she, the spirit mentor, had a meeting with the higher spirits that are coordinating everything, and she said that she would propose a new charitable work for the group. Aha! So often we think, oh, I have this idea, new projects. No, no, no. The projects always come from the spiritual to the material. As Plato, the philosopher, used to say, this is the shadow. The real world is the one of the spirit. The ideas. Everything begins there. Your group is turning 10. Oh God, may I be open to download the program for the next 10. Always they always do action plans. Short term, mid-term, long-term. We just need to connect to the account and read. What is it? So the spirit mentor has a plan, like a teacher, to propose to the classroom, which is us, the Spiritist Center, charity work. She would gather the thoughts of her friends in a single vibration of optimism and confidence in favor of an old sick sister. They should be empowered to provide the aid. Let everyone pray and strengthen themselves, mentally cooperating. When Sister Clara arrived at the service, she was hopeful. For the first time in a mediumistic meeting, the spirit protector, the mentor, Sister Clara, asked for a favor. First time ever. For the first time in forever, she asked for a favor. Yeah, she did ask for a favor. How did they receive her request? Amazing, huh? Yes, even the Spiritist Society of San Diego is turning 10 years. And you see, there you go, Bernadette Liao. We're all on the same page, and they're saying, not necessarily this is the same program for every center, but we need to ask what the mentors want to do. They are the teachers, we're the students. She implored to all present the necessary spiritual concentration of energies for the benefit of the sick. Sister Clara would be the bearer of the healing forces for the poor person. She asked that they visit one person, help one person only. But when she was preparing for the task, one of the mediums, Mrs. Ophelia, asked for a remedy for her headache. Mrs. Generosa complained about the message she has been waiting for, never received. Saraiva asked if he could use iodine in higher doses for his rheumatoid arthritis. Amanda asserted that her son-in-law became unbearable, begging for some disobsession work. So the spirit protector comes, delivers a message, asking for a favor, and everybody say, but you know what? I have a headache, I have arthritis, I have this. Can you help here? Can you help there? And before the final prayer, the leader asked, was the benefit of our absent patient accomplished, sister? And Sister Clara kindly said no, she could not. All that they needed was to concentrate. Let me explain to you the scenario, because the way we're reading here probably doesn't make it clear. The mentor only asked that the group focus on beautiful thoughts, not on petitions. So Sister Clara could use the energies that they were giving, donating, so she could bring it to a person who was sick. But instead of in that external silence of mediumship, of them being disciplined in the mind, they were thinking about their personal favors. So at the end of the meeting, she says, we couldn't do it. The group was full of needs and pains. Some part was malfunctioning in the group. It's interesting when Brother X describes that part. The group is malfunctioning. It's not functioning properly. 10 years, something is off. Natural. We are on the earth. So what is Sister Clara's decision? She would bring an inspector. An inspector. Indeed, in the next session, the inspector appeared, Brother Claudio. He manifested through one of the mediums and spoke firmly. My friends, Spiritism is the doctrine of progress. For 10 years in a row, you have been helped to learn to help. You have been helped to learn to help. You have been helped to learn to help. 10 years. And after 10 years, what do people do? They are still feeling not ready. But if you get into a group and you haven't been there the 10 years, and the group is turning 10 years, but you're part of the group, and you're part of the teamwork task force, and you're part of the group as a Spiritist practitioner, that Spiritist progress belongs to you too. Oh no, Vanessa, but I've been here only 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So maybe 10 years just for you, Vanessa. No, it's for all of us. The group works like a company. If you go there and the company says, now we're going to expand to the left, you can't say, no, but I've just been hired. Give me some break. I've just been hired. I have to stay here, put, and do nothing. You guys have been here a while. Go and do it. No. Whomever joins the club is asked to help shift the direction and move to the direction that it needs to be fulfilled. So Brother Claudio, as the inspector, comes and says, my friends, Spiritism is the doctrine of progress. For 10 years in a row, you have been helped to learn to help. Therapeutic question. You see how we need this study? We need this study because how long have we been helped to learn to help? Helped to learn to help. How many? Oh, Vanessa, but I've been in different center. Okay, sum it up. Since day one, when you opened the first book, when you're introduced to the first talk, how long has it been? Literally, you and I have been helped to learn to help since then. How long has it been? Just in this life. We're not even talking about previous lives or in between lives. So what is the excuse we're going to give? What is the excuse? I don't know. Yeah, me neither. And the leader of the group says, yes. Sister Clara now is with us. So the inspector says, without aggression, I know and I recognize that Sister Clara is a very rare example of affection and patience. However, it seems to me that the law that extinguished slavery in Brazil was ended on May 13th, 1888. Clara, Sister Clara is our sister. She's not our slave. How many of us we feel that the spirit mentors are slaves of our lives? Some people tell me this. Vanessa, ask Mentor Joseph. Ask Mentor Joseph. I don't bother Mentor Joseph with my questions. You know why? Because it doesn't work that way. Or any other spirit. I know Benjamin Franklin is the responsible for Kardec Radio with a team of spirits. I don't send requests and petitions. We need to be open to their guidance, like a student to a teacher. A good student sits, is prepared and ready to learn, to help and to serve. The teacher will say something, so you don't need to be anxious. Are you anxious? You don't need to be anxious. You don't need to be anxious. I don't need to be anxious. Because when the good spirits see good students, they are good teachers. They will come. They will deliver the proposal. All we need to do is fulfill it. That's why when people ask me, Vanessa, how come you've done this, you've done that? I said, I've done nothing. They've said it and I obeyed. Period. In a million years, I've never dreamed of any of this. If I were into many of these things, I would probably have taken a different route in a career. It's not a dream. It's actually service. We don't dream of service, we just serve. Because when we dream to serve, we don't serve. Dr. Bezerra de Menezes said, when charity is too much discussed, it comes late. So we don't dream. There's no time even to dream. We're just ready, prepared. Checklist for the Spiritist Practitioner. Number 1, be ready to serve. Number 2, be prepared. Jorge Godinho Neri, the president of the Brazilian Spiritist Society, the Federation, the Spiritist Federation of Brazil, he used to say when he was in Baltimore with us, we need to always be prepared because the good works are like horses. They come, they pass by us, we need to be ready to mount the horse. So the horse is coming by, choop, mount the horse and go. Remember the galloping? Do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good. You need a horse. And the horse is what? The proposal of the good spirits. You know you're ready. So you're not like, the horse is gone. Oh, now I get it. 5 years ago, that's why people were saying this to me. It's gone. Focus on the now. Another horse is going to pass by. Working horse. Ready? Mount. Do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good. Keep it in mind. You ready? Again, 3rd time, effort repetition. So we learn it once and for all. Don't forget. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mount. The horse is gone. Okay, another one's going to come by because God is good. He loves us. Another horse. Yeah. Mount. Do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good. This is us. We need to be prepared always. How does this story end? So the spirit inspector is coming and telling to the group, your spirit mentor is not your slave. Whoever actually practices the gift of charity finds charity for themselves. Okay? There was a heavy silence for minutes. People were speechless. So the coordinator of the meeting said, what else, Brother Claudio, do you advise us to do, my friend? Claudio said without affectation. I said everything I had to say. God be with us, said the coordinator of the meeting. The instructor nodded and said, meaning Brother Claudio, the inspector, he finalized. God remains with us, there is no doubt. One must know, however, whether we are on our side with God. God is with us, but are we with God? Brother Claudio withdrew and Sister Clara came to work with her friends again. But that night, another picture emerged. Mrs. Generosa was silent about her son. Mafra resigned himself to the physical disease. Amanda did not talk about her gastric ulcer. Saraiva resigned himself to rheumatoid arthritis. Karamuru did not ask anything for the house where he worked. Cunha forgot the store. Mrs. Ophelia had relieved her headache. Pires, silent, seemed at least satisfied with the fate of his family. When the meeting was over, the director humbly asked the house mentor if everything was all right. Sister Clara patiently informed, I believe our inspector solved the problem. Thank God. And all the attendees, concerned, repeated in one voice, thank God. And that's why they became the Readjusted group. And that's why we need to practice inner silence. How do we practice inner silence? Some people say, I want to be in a mediumistic meeting. But they are so noisy in their minds that it's going to be a nightmare. Like we're watching here, the very group. This group turned 10 years. And they didn't know that they put together a group not for themselves, for personal petitions. Do you participate in a group for personal things? Personal growth is good, but for personal favors? Well, the news is this. In Spiritism, there's no oracle. Serious mediums do not become oracles. We cannot expect mediums to enslave spirit mentors and higher spirits to the whims of our passing problems. Our problems here are supposed to be experienced to teach us lessons. As Louise Hay wisely used to say, when you have problems, don't ask if the problem goes away. First ask, what is the lesson that this problem wants to give to you? And when we're participating in a mediumistic meeting or in a Spiritist center as a Spiritist practitioner, we share the responsibility to form a quorum, a spiritual frequency, collective, that sustains the connection with the higher spirits. So the question for you and I as Spiritist practitioners is, am I the weak link in my center? Or am I the one who is strengthening our connection? You know the bars when you have like phone service? Are you making your connection in the center, the collective connection, become stronger or weaker? This is a question for all of us. I know these study sessions are very serious, and they are supposed to be, because we're living very grave days on the earth. Don't feel guilty. But as the very persons in this group, they readjusted themselves. Tonight, you and I are being asked by the spirits of the beyond and the teacher of tonight, Brother X, Humberto de Campos, to readjust ourselves. Let us readjust ourselves, friends, and be good students. Be prepared. The horse comes of work. Mount. Do the good, do the good, do the good, do the good. Enjoy the invitation of this teacher, Brother X, and let us meditate, reflect. Tomorrow, when we come back, God willing, we're going to be studying another message with Emmanuel. Oh, Emmanuel. For the time being, do the good, do the good, do the good. Thank you, friends, and until tomorrow.